So in this video, we're going to look at the horizontal chest circles, tribal from the trap style. There's really muscular versions and there's looser versions. But we'll just get started. Before I start, if you haven't already, please hit subscribe, like and follow. And then we can dance together, okay? It will be much appreciated. Also, new videos released every single week, so then you don't miss out. Alright, need to warm up first. So let's just do some ribcage slides. Prefer you to do a proper warm up first. So go and check out one of my warm up videos on YouTube or on my website, BellyDance.com, and then come and see me. So, soften the knees a little bit, not too much for the purpose of this movement. Hips down, ribs and chest up, shoulders down, long neck, okay? Swan neck, ballerina neck, cobra neck, whatever you want to think of. Just make sure your neck is really nice and long. From there, keep your chest elevated and slide the ribs from side to side. Just go from one side to the other. So if I was standing in the middle of a clock, you're hitting 3 and 9 and 9 and 3 over and over again. Okay, now to make it really cool, your goal is to try and keep your head. So your hips, your feet, your knees, your hips and your head are in the same line. Try not to let the head go with you, else you'll lose some of the aesthetic of the movement. So you want to try and keep it just in the ribs. It's just your ribs that are moving from side to side. How? Why? From these muscles here, which are your obliques. These muscles are really working. Other muscles as well, but those are the ones that are mainly working in this particular movement. Okay, so strong belly, you remember the drill by now. If you're brand new to my classes or my lessons, then you'll get used to it. Halfway to mid-part, strong belly. Strong belly will protect the back, give you nicer isolations. I will teach you all of this stuff properly in my school in the most minutest detail. So come to my Zoom classes, my online classes, live stream on Zoom from anywhere in the world at any time. Just check your time zone. And if you can't make a class for whatever reasons, you can catch the recording later after class. And if you can't do the live classes at all, for whatever reasons, that's cool too. You can just do the subscription option on my website, BellyDance.com, which is only recording access. But of course, if you can come live, I get you motivated and I'll give you loads of feedback and advice to help you on your journey specifically. Okay, so now after we go side to side, we now need to go forward and back, okay? So, I'm going to face the side a little bit for you, and what we're going to do is make sure you don't stick the bum out, okay? So keep the pelvis nice and still, and now the chest goes forward and back. If I want you to imagine you have pens on your chest pointing at the floor, you'd be drawing the number 11 on the floor. So forward and back, we'll be drawing the number 11. It's a horizontal movement, okay? I go forward and back. Now be careful, because without even realizing it, you may start to do something like this. No, we don't want to do that. We're trying to isolate. Makes it harder, but this is the way that we do it, okay? So you bend the knees, keep the hips still, chest goes forward. Try to imagine your nipples or your chest going further than your toes without sticking your bum out. And then back. You can concave on this one, like round the back a little bit. So go forward as far as you can and then back. You'll really feel it in the muscles that run either side of the spine, down the back. My face here a little bit, make you see better. I keep my hips really still and I shift my ribs forward and back. Forward and back. Forward, and I keep my chin horizontal to the floor. Okay, for 4, 3. These movements are really good for you, even just by themselves, let alone putting them into the actual sequence. Okay, so forwards and back. But now we need to try to put them together to make a circle. So now if you had pens on your ribs or anywhere around here, you're going to draw a circle on the floor around your feet. Similar to the exterior hip circle, except you're doing it with your ribs. So your chest is on your ribs, pretty much, okay, on your rib cage. So it's actually the ribs that are doing the movement. But if it's easier for you to visualize the chest doing it, because you can see the chest, you can do it with the chest. So we're going to do side, 3 or 9. Forwards, pass your toes if you can without sticking your bottom out and without being, no chickens, keep your head still. Forward, and then you stay, you go over to the side and now you concave. So it's side, forward, side, back, side. if you do it properly. I mean, if you're first time doing this, you might not feel very much happening, but if you do it properly, and the more you do it, if you're aiming to really feel your abdominals really working all the way around, the circular motion, go all the way through the side. All of the music that I use in my tutorials is by Tribal from the Trap as well, which, as I said, is my style Tribal Fusion, so you can get the music everywhere: iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. The music is license free. Let's see if we can connect the dots. The music is license free, so what did that mean? That means that you can use the music on any of your social media or any of your platforms without it being blocked. You can just use it. Just enjoy it and use it. If you do take videos of yourself dancing, I'd love to see it. I'd love you to tag me in them. At Melissa BellyDance on Instagram and Melissa BellyDance on Facebook. Okay, so here we go. So these are just some of the basics of the Tribal Fusion style that I teach. There's a hell of a lot more stylization to it that makes it really more animalistic and really more, I want to say sassy. It's really feminine. So my style Tribal Fusion is really feminine, it's really girly, but it's really quite slinky in terms of a feline kind of movement, okay? So we're trying to put as much muscular control into these movements as possible. Before, take it around as far as you can. And if you want to, if you start to, there's many ways to do this movement, so many ways that I teach. But since we're here, if you want to, you can either keep it really isolated, just like this, which is probably a little bit harder actually. Really isolate it. Or you can get the isolation with a bit of a weight transfer as I go. So what I'm doing is when I'm on this side of my ribs, I put the weight on this leg. When I'm forward, the weight is a little bit more in the balls of my feet. When I'm on this side, I'm on this leg. When I'm back, I'm kind of more in my heels. And then we have all these kind of arm patterns that we do, which is really Tribal from the Trap. But another day, another time, okay? Just vibe it. Vibe it is to feel it, is to groove it, is to find your own way of moving in the movement. Of course, when this video finishes, you must promise that you press rewind and you do the circle again in the other direction. One circle will feel easier, one direction will feel easier, more likely than the other, and that's normal. Okay, let's just do a few more. Feel it, move it. See how much muscles you can recruit. How gooey can you make it? So I always teach everybody in my school to dance from the inside out, from as deep as you can within your being, like your very essence, the most deepest part of you is where you're dancing from, is where you're moving from, doing your movements. So let's do 4 more. 4, 3. Just vibe it, just let it go. Don't worry about what it looks like, just feel it. It should feel really good. If it doesn't feel good, play around with it until it does. Last one. Okay. And what I love about Tribal from the Trap in my style Tribal Fusion is that a lot of the movements, they really feel quite stretchy. So when you're moving your body, you can really feel great things happening inside of it at the same time. So you're dancing, but you're also healing. Healing and dancing and dancing and healing. And just making really lovely shapes in the body as you dance. Anyway, we should stretch. So, press rewind, do it again. And then stretch maybe. If it's your second time watching the video, let's stretch. So you're going to bend the knees, tuck the chin in, you're going to roll all the way down. I'm really rounding off my back as much as I can, tuck the chin in, and feel the stretch. When you find the stretch, stop. So if it's here, stay here. Otherwise, you keep going until you find your stretch. Yes. Okay, so from here, I'm just going to either hang, or you can do what I love to do, which is alternate my legs. In alternating my legs, I kind of get a stretch down one side of my lower back. 4, 3, 2, roll up head last. Always on bent knees. Release. Okay, let's do a little self thank you. It's a little self praise. Bend. Roll the shoulders. Take one hand up. Bring it in. Tap your shoulder. And then give yourself a pat on the back. And say, yay! Well done me! Well done, well done, well done, well done, well done. Thank you. Until next time.